that gender lens, how should mothers today cultivate their boys to be in awareness about the changes and the role of that woman and support them?
Okay, amazing. I think today's mothers need to change how society was constructed uh, maybe 20, 50 years ago, where the boys, they were grooming, sort of kings, in quotes, so
Yeah.
to speak, and grooming people who are also going to dominate others and have an unfair advantage. So today's mothers should um, give responsibilities to the boys
Okay.
the same way,
Mm.
because
The same way they give to the girls.
you don't want a circumstance where you have a boy who can't cook, who can't wash
So do you
clothes.
cook?
Yes, I cook.
Ah, we have to try
Yeah.
this. What's
Maybe
your favorite meal that you make?
you don't know about it.
We'll go and buy the
It's
ingredients anyhow.
millet bread.
Really?
Millet bread. Yeah.
Oh, we have to try that while you're in Ghana. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Millet bread. I can cook rice. I can cook everything.
That's good.
I was lucky. Maybe perhaps it was a blessing in disguise, being in a family of so many boys and one girl. So in a way, we had to do so many things because if we had relegated all these responsibilities to our sister, then it should have been terrible for her and mom. So I think the mothers today should start showing the boys from a little age that some of these responsibilities, or most of any responsibility at home, of course, a girl is not born knowing how to cook.
Yeah,
These are skills that we learn, you know. So you don't want your son to grow and there is no one at home and you find him crying, hungry, that they can't cook and everything is there, you know. Because those who left responsibilities to girls grew up in a generation where, you know, the responsibilities were sharply divided. So the communities knew the men would go hunting and gathering and go to battlefield and stuff like that. But now the women are in the army. They are commanding as well as men, you know. The women are heads of organizations and institutions.
Yeah.
So we cannot still say that, okay, they are remaining in the kitchen and in the homes to take care of kids and all that. They are all running up and about looking for, you know, to build nations, to build communities. So as much as we have now embraced girls and women into the spheres of life where they used not to occupy before, we should now take the boys also to corners where they used not to reach before. And so the boys should all complement the girls in a home.
Sounds
in that
amazing.
way, you are grooming people who are going to be responsible. But above all, the relationship between, say, a woman and a man in a home and girls and boys should be that of respect. When you respect someone, you will know when they are overworked. Okay? So if we put them at the same level, that means we respect them and we see them as the same. Yeah? And so that should not be a problem to tell the boy that today you're cooking and serving us, you know, and tomorrow the girl does the same. It's a hard thing for men who have grown up in societies where it is widely known that the girl has to do a particular thing and the boy has to do something, but we must all accept that change is a factor of life. And the sooner we start to change our attitude and how we look at boys and girls, the better we look to the future.
And I like that. On that note of future, you're engaged now. Are you looking forward to having a child together as well with your fiance? How are you? What's your expectation of her as a mother?
Okay, amazing. Oh, not only a child, we are looking forward to having twins.
Sweet. You know, when I was before I had a baby, I wanted twins so badly, so I had them plastered everywhere because I was envisioning it. So that's like a whole new.
So now that you missed, you should bless me so that I fulfill.
You're blessed.
Amen. Amen. I take it. So we've talked about it multiple times about having kids, and it's exciting.
Okay.
It's exciting first because my fiancé knows I love children, and I think one of the things that whilst I was confessing her, I promised her to be a very wonderful father. And so she's looking forward.
Okay.
And that was not just to convince her. I am.
Okay.
I am.
Well, you have been to your nieces and nephews.
Yeah. I have them.
But come to think of it, in a way, you have been like a father to your siblings because you're the firstborn.
Yes.
You lost your dad early. So you've taken up that role of a father rather early in your life.
Yeah, I have done that. And I think Sharon also now has, for the time we've been together, known how I interact with Priva. Sometimes she prefers to talk to me when she has issues than to talk to her. And a couple of times she has told me secrets that I have to keep.
Ooh, trouble.
But it gives me hard time because me and my fiancé at one point, we agreed we don't have secrets. So now if my daughter now comes with the secret and asks me to promise not to let it out, it takes me to breaking some rules. I hope you're not going to report me.
Oh, I think she'll watch this.
That I'm breaking rules.
She'll watch this, so she'll know you're breaking rules.
So yeah, she will definitely know. But
how do you deal with that, though? Do you go back and say, you know, I'm keeping the promise, however, so I'm letting you know that I have a secret that I'm not telling you between this person and I, and it's just not coming out?
Absolutely. So I promise her, because sometimes at the time they are telling you these secrets, you are the only person they can tell.
Yeah.
So you also don't want a situation where you
break that.
You break the promise, or you accept that you'll keep it, and in your heart you don't believe in what you're saying. So I keep it, but also along the way I let her know that it would be important for her mother to know some of these things, because I don't have a solution.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So if we involved her, perhaps we get solution. She has a solution, I imagine. So I start to prepare her mind that the secret will be let out at a certain point. But also
gradual disclosure.
Yes, but also to Sharon, I also tell her there is a secret between me and Priva. We hope we can agree to tell you sometime. But for now,
not today.
Not today. Yeah, that's how we deal with it.
Nice. That's nice. So you've already started the process of blending the families, and I wish you well. What worries you about in your observations with various women as you work and grow in all the areas that you participate in? What worries you the most about today's mom?
Uh, the worry is, traditionally, like, because we come from, a conventional way of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
We come from a point where our moms were available to the children. Right now, they are competing interests,
Mm.
and the mothers have to choose sometimes between their jobs and their children, because also most African countries do not have you know extended maternity leave
Mm.
like you'd find in Europe or America, because here they can tell you 3 months.
Yeah.
Now, 3 months, we also have now lately cesarean births,
Exactly.
that is all over. In those 3 months, a mother is actually sick and trying to heal. After the 3 months, they are required to go back to their work. So time is no longer there, you know. The men already did not have time at all,
Mm.
you know.
Mm.
So we are trying to ask them to create some time, but the mothers are joining them in not having time.
Mm.
So you find that children are taught by, television channels. Children are taught by the nannies, and so in the end, you may not get the best out of your child
Mm.
because you've not availed yourself. So the one worry is time.
Okay. Okay.
Time. I think my biggest worry is that,
Mm.
about time.
Mm.
The other worry is about, the clashes in cultures and which one
Okay.
to
Okay.
take.
Okay.
That we have to decide as Africans, that do we need to completely erode our cultures.
Mm. Mm.
It's becoming trendy for young mothers to want to adopt, what we call the Western culture,
Absolutely.
and want their children to completely take off any kind of culture which is African. They do think our cultures are backward,
Yeah.
which is not absolutely true. I agree. There could be some aspects of our culture that should be that is backward, but it cannot be totally that everything about the African culture is backward.
Absolutely.
So the worry is that we are quickly forgetting about our culture
Mm.
and adopting a completely different culture that is un-African.
That's yeah.
We need to be proud as African and know, first of all, our cultures and why our forefathers thought about those things that we hold dear as the
Mm.
culture.
Mm.
Look for positive ones. For example, African culture is, if you even talk about the Ubuntu, I
Yeah.
am because you
Because
are.
you are.
You know, the wealth of an African is the number of people you have around you. You know, that's so different from the culture of a white man of having their credit card. So once someone has a credit card, they have all the friends, they have all the things they need. But an African, you have a party and the number of people you invite to come to your home, you know, it's even when you have, for example, a function and you cook your food and invite people and they don't turn up, it is the most painful moment. So how you relate with people and the many people you have around you is what makes you a proud person.
Mm.
I know, Auntie, over time maybe you ask Basi and nana about their friends, and they occasionally come home.
Yeah.
And it is interesting to host the friends of your children at home. So my worry is about the young mothers trying to teach our children other cultures and forget about ours. We have a rich culture in Africa. I think we need to revisit and go back into the history books and start to teach our children about our rich culture.
Sadly, I think a lot of our schools today are not even teaching them about African history. So yes, indeed, you are right about that. Yeah, so we need to teach. Basically, redefine the paradigm of who we are, who we want to be, and how we want that to manifest and show up in the world. I like that very much. What would you like to say to women as we prepare to celebrate Mother's Day?
Wow.
Or you can just speak to your mother.
No, I think I want to speak to all the mothers because I hold them with the same high esteem. Every mother anywhere in the world. So, but you are insisting that I'm a mommy's boy. So let me speak as.
I'm not insisting. I'm not insisting. I refuse to insist.
Yes. So let me speak in that lens. That to the mothers all over the world, you are so amazing. You are so amazing. And we can't thank you enough. You've done this world a great job, and you continue to do an amazing job, you know, giving birth to life, and also grooming that life, you know. So it's such an amazing job, and we can't say anything or do anything greater than telling you we are forever grateful and continue to groom the world. The world needs more and more great women. You are so great. And just to wish you a very, very fruitful Mother's Day.
You heard him. Thank you very much. So we spoke to Timothy Ocho. From a male perspective, would his interaction with basically how he sees women today, some of his worries, some of his concerns, his aspirations, he's very grateful and expects that we begin to re-look at our narratives and see that in a fast-changing world, what else can we do? What else can we do to reduce some of the burdens? How do we go back to our roots and build and own it, embrace it, and from that place of power, grow into magnificent human beings and society? So Timothy, thank you ever so much for sitting down with me to have this conversation. I'm most sincerely grateful.
Awesome.
And grateful
Thank you.
that you are in Ghana.
Ghana
we've been
is
looking forward
my
to
second
this.
African home. And my mother knows that, and Sharon now knows that. I'm so happy that finally Sharon is here with me. And yeah, she's seen for herself. I've been bragging. Now I even have more bragging rights that indeed I have a second home in Africa.
Wonderful.
Which is Ghana. And I can't thank you enough for always keeping me safe and happy in Ghana.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.